Let me know if you can hear me, folks. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear? Yay! There we go. I think people can hear me. All positive. All good, all good. Okie doke. Okay. I'll just wait just a couple of minutes, just so people can log in. I can see things. Hello, folks. Hello, hello, hello. Awesome. Good evening, folks. Good evening. Good, good, good. Okay, I think we've got probably enough people who've said hello, so I will get going. Obviously, this will be available after the fact. It will be available on Facebook. I will upload it to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello. And we will get going, folks. I'll also put it in the OneDrive link. And we'll go from there. So let us begin. So, if at any point, So if at any point my video loses a little bit of speed, don't worry, I'm recording it and that will be okay. So if there's anything that does go a little bit glitchy, as sometimes does at this time of night, I will make sure I put it up on all those places, and hopefully I'm recording it as well as streaming it, so fingers crossed that should be okay. So we're going to start off with information on You Will Be Found. What I'm going to do is I've put parts in this presentation where I have put like a question point. So again, if you have questions, when I get to the point of the question bit, then obviously you can ask any questions that you may have. So first things, we are up to the point now with You Will Be Found where we want you to send in recordings, audio recordings, and we'll go to more detail in that in a little bit. But yeah, so feedback recordings went live this morning at 9 o'clock. Deadline is Wednesday, 11 p.m. More information soon more information in this presentation on that. Also, just to let you know that the youth stream is doing really, really well. We've got probably about between 25 and 30 young people who are turning up to daily rehearsals. We've got rehearsals every day from for the youth stream, including in this interim week. The youth stream are doing really, really well. Our kind of the section leaders who are with the youth team are doing amazing work, and the young people are really enjoying themselves. They're obviously doing You Will Be Found. There's other stuff that we're doing as well, and they are doing fab work. So they're lovely, lovely, lovely people. We've got some people. I'll get a bit of a shout out to our American and Canadian youth stream singers. We had an 11 a.m. session UK time, and they still turned up. So they got up at 5:30. They're on Eastern Standard Time. They got up at 5:30 a.m. To attend a 6 a.m. starting session for them, which was 11 a.m. UK time. So their kind of commitment and dedication to the cause is amazing. And we're talking teenagers here. We're talking teenagers getting up at 5:30 in the morning so that they're ready to do a youth stream session. And yeah, so which is absolutely amazing. So they are as committed as all of us, and they're really enjoying themselves. And again, thanks to them and obviously all the team leaders who are running those sessions. Performance guidance. We've got a little bit of performance guidance on the and it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook on the members page, and it's on YouTube. But one of our section leaders, Debbie, put up a short video about performance guidance for You Will Be Found. Called It's Not a Sad Song, which is 100% true. We'll probably go into that a little bit later, but that little 5-minute video is really useful if you get a chance to watch it. We will go through in this video a little bit and just give a little bit of of guidance, and we've been doing quite a lot of work on education sessions and within actual performance sessions, voice part performance sessions, with the idea of being able to get the right type of performance. And certainly we're going for hopeful and yes, emotional, but we're definitely going for hopeful. So voice part videos and session recordings, again, a little bit of information on that coming up in this video. So yes, obviously there are more voice part videos and session recordings for some sections than others, and I'll go through that when we get to that point, the reasons why that is, and obviously what you can do to kind of mitigate those effects if you haven't got access to as many videos, and possibly what we might be able to do as a music team to help bridge that gap a little bit, and we'll go through from there. And phase 3 plans. So obviously we've got phase 3 coming up in 6 days' time. So next Saturday we start with phase 3. We're obviously really looking forward to that. And the music team are getting together over the next few days, and we are beginning to plan phase 3, plan what we're going to do with the rehearsals, plan when we're going to do the rehearsals. And again, we have already started meeting about that. So whilst you do get like a 7-day break kind of from rehearsals, our music team are currently going into possibly getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feedback recordings that they need to give feedback for, and planning phase 3 and doing all the other stuff that they're doing as well. So this is always a busy time for our music team. Actually, when you're possibly not as busy with sessions, that's probably the music team are very busy. They're doing all the feedback and everything. So let's just go through. I just want to talk about a conductor video. And if you haven't seen this, I'm basically gonna play part of it. Yesterday I did conductor videos. I've actually been practicing these for a little while. And again, because we want you to give honest and kind of heartfelt performances, I felt that I had to do that in my conductor videos. And yeah, it was quite difficult. I have to say I was quite drained afterwards. Going through all six parts of the song, and the all parts means that I had to perform this song 7 times. And when I say perform, I always think of conducting as a performance. Again, trying to be in control of helping out with conducting, as well as trying to be emotionally involved in the performance, mouthing the correct words, making sure that I'm giving the correct cues. Again, I've never had any kind of training as a conductor. You can probably tell if you look at my hands. But I have had absolutely no training. So all I do is I move as I feel, and I try to kind of portray what I'm feeling and what I would think that you might be trying to feel. It is something that is quite time consuming to do these, and again, it's always quite tricky to get them done, but I just want to play you. I just want to play you part of a conductor video. If the video is a little bit out of sync, it's in the PowerPoint, so you can access it, and it's on YouTube anyway. But I just want to kind of go through, this is what you want to be using really for your feedback recordings. If you can follow this, it's going to be a lot easier. There was a couple of questions about the fact that the score, the dots and the notes and the words, the score isn't on this video, and there's a very, very good reason for that. I am of the opinion that people really, really would struggle to give the emotional impact in this song and to really buy into the emotion of the song if they're reading a score. And again, if you need to read a score, then you'll have to do that. We're not going to kind of say that you can't therefore do it, but I would certainly say that you want to try and do these performances without using the score. You want to try and use them with the media and the conductor stuff, and having kind of a little bit of a visual idea about where your part is going in the background. But I honestly believe that having a score will place a bit of an emotional barrier there for you, and will possibly mean that you're focusing more on the notes and checking the words than you are performing the song, that you're getting emotionally involved. That might be different for you. It might be a different procedure. You may be in a choir that never puts the music down, that always always has the music there. It's not the way I work. I can see the reason for it, especially if you have lots of rep in your choir or your chorus, and hence you've got lots and lots and lots of songs that you can that you go through. I always slightly find the leather-bound choir folder is almost like a defense mechanism against opening yourself up for heartfelt, believable performance. Not saying that you don't get believable performance by sometimes having that, but actually having my hands free, being able to actually feel physically engaged in the performance. Possibly it's because I sing barbershop, but even before I sing barbershop, on my community choir, I didn't like them having words and folders. I would much rather sing less songs, but actually sing them with the emotional context that I wanted. So, and again, in the end of the day, you pick your virtual choirs as you want to, and if that's something you struggle with, you will obviously have to have your score there. But certainly these conductor tracks, I didn't want to on this song have the score in there. So I'm just going to play a bit of this for you, and I'll shut up for a minute, and I'll just let you have a look and a listen in case you haven't seen these. They're all available for you on YouTube. One, two, three, four. In fact, I won't do that because it slowed my video rate down. What I'm going to say to you is make sure that you have a look at them. I was going to literally press play there, but the video rate goes down too much. It goes down to about 9 frames a second. Yeah, so 9 frames a second is not good for watching. All I will say is really have a watch. Have a watch of other parts. Okay, have a watch of the other parts. If you are wanting to know whether you know this song, sing along to the all parts track. If you really want to know you know this song, sing along to a different track. So if you're a soprano, sing along to the bass track. Yeah, and honestly, sing along to the bass track. Again, it'll be nice for you to be able to harmonize. It's nice for you to be able to experience those kind of harmonies and things. But again, it'll give you a lot of confidence that you know what you're doing with your part. Don't always be using just your part predominant. Okay? You just clap. You don't count. So all we need from you is the clap. The 1, 2, 3, 4 is to help synchronize you up for the clap. If you have counted, it's not a problem, by the way. You don't have to redo your recording. But literally, you just do the clap. So you're literally just there. Listen to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Do the clap and you're fine. So please have a look at that. I won't play it now. It's a shame because it would have been quite nice to look at it. But definitely the video quality went down quite significantly when I did that. So the feedback form, I'm not going to go through it in great detail because I have already done this and there is a few videos about this as well. But the feedback form that is there for you, check your email address. You might think, well, of course I put my email address in, right? You would be very surprised in the email addresses we actually get in the email address box. So please check your email address. Your first name comes first. Your last name comes last. Okay, and again, you might think, well, of course it does. We are still getting people putting in either the wrong email address. We're getting some people putting their last name as their first name as their last name. Oh, thank you. Ilhan has just posted in the comments the You Will Be Found conductor tracks. Please make sure you have a look at them. They are really, really kind of, I think you'll find them really useful. People who've done previous collective songs have found them useful. So again, do have a look at them. And again, I get quite emotional in some of them, but I'm quite happy with the type of emotion I've got. I think I've got the right blend of feeling kind of happy and cry at the same time. So again, but just be prepared for my overly emotional personality to shine through in the conductor videos. So you will, again, there's things like, are you in the youth stream? Obviously you should know if you're in the youth stream, but because we have the youth stream and they're doing feedback recordings, this form is going out to them. There's a voice part tracker. Please make sure you click if you are a soprano 1-2, alto 1-2, tenor or bass, so we can track this properly. And then there's obviously the part of that feedback form where you upload your file. Okay, nice and simple. The really important thing, oh yeah, upload audio files. It's not video. We do audio files and we do miming and lip syncing for the videos. And I'll come to slightly some of the reason later on. But yeah, we just do audio. We don't do video. Unlike a lot of virtual choirs that do both video and audio simultaneously, we just do audio. So you can focus on your singing and then you can focus on what you look like later on. If anything, though, you still need to be, that doesn't mean you can do a blank. You still need to be performing the song because you need to perform the song, because the audio, you can tell if someone's not performing the song. So you still need to be imagining you're being watched, but it just means that you can just focus on the audio and freezes up as far as the editing and the feedback goes. Please check the file before you send it. We are still getting people sending blank files. We're getting people sending documents, web links. Like, we just need audio files. So some people have uploaded guide tracks instead of their own tracks. So we continue to say the same things, and we know that technically for some of you is a bit of a difficulty. But please just check when you upload it that it's the one you want to upload. Okay, if you're not sure, listen to it, look at the file name before you upload it, because obviously if you upload it, we're not going to necessarily have chance to give you another chance of putting something in if the initial recording you put in for feedback isn't actually the song, and then we can't give feedback on it. This box is really important. Please press submit. Okay, when you've done this, the thing at the bottom, you must make sure you press submit. You will get a response email. It's set up so that everybody gets a response email. You therefore need to check your spam, junk, promotions folder. Okay? It hasn't happened in this song, but in previous songs, and I kind of get it, but I'm just putting it out there. Previous song, people, for example, claimed that they'd submitted the file, they'd submitted the form, and that therefore, because they couldn't see that they'd been sent a response, so either claimed that the form wasn't working, the system didn't work, etc., etc. And if you press submit, you will get a response. If you press submit and it says, thank you, your response has been recorded, it has been recorded. The system does work. The form does work. It's the same form as we had on You've Got a Friend in Me, where 440 people uploaded it. Again, I'm just being honest. Human error does exist, though. So even if you think you've done it correctly, if you don't get that response email and you don't get to the part on the form that says your response has been recorded, thank you, then your response hasn't been recorded and you've unfortunately probably done something wrong, or there's been an issue. It won't be an issue generically with the form because it's the same form that everybody uses. So it might be an issue with your internet connection. It could be an issue with your computer. It may be Tamara has just put something, but that's not correct. Tamara, it says it's in, it says, oh, wait a second. Oh, how it should be named. Sorry. Tamara has said something that is correct. I thought that was referring to something else. Yeah, so the file, if you can name the file, it is not as important for feedback, but it is definitely important for the final recording. You put the voice part, and you put last name, then first name. But that's on the naming of the file. We'll get onto naming of the file when it comes to final recordings. For the feedback recordings, you might want to try and name your recording that you upload. For final recordings, though, there will be an additional amount of information on how to name your file to make sure that it's going to help our audio editing team with the editing process. And then naming the file is really quite important. Less so for feedback, but certainly it's something to look at. And again, I'll go on to what you might be able to do that helps you with that. So human error does exist. Unfortunately, human error is more likely than the fact that the form just doesn't work for you, but it's worked for 500 other people, sadly. So again, do your best. That's all we can ever do. Do your best. But again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't necessarily mean that the form that we put up is broken or badly designed. Okay? So, technical support sessions. If you happen to have any technical issues, Ian, our resident tech guru, does daily technical support sessions. Okay, so if you have an issue, if the form doesn't seem to work, or you have an issue with the app, or you have an issue with not being able to find things on Facebook, or issues with how to record on your phone, or how to name your file, or anything else really, pop into one of those technical support sessions and ask him. He does them at all different times of the day, every day, to try and fit people who live in the UK, people who are free in the morning, in the afternoon. He does them as late as 11 o'clock at night to try and help out those of you who live in the US and Canada, as in 11 o'clock UK time. And whilst I'm aware that might only be 5 or 6 o'clock at night for you guys, obviously he's UK based and obviously doing sessions at 3 or 4 in the morning our time, so it can fit your time in the evening. Obviously long term is quite difficult for especially for individuals to do, and Ian is doing those technical support sessions himself every single day. He does one of them, so do feel free to go in. He's doing one today at 10 o'clock. He moved it because I was doing this session. There's one at 10 o'clock today. That's in about 40 minutes time. So if you've got any of those questions, then you can go and ask him and he will help you. And he is lovely and very helpful, and you'll have a good chat as well as that. He knows many things about many things, and I'm sure you'll have a good chat with him. So do feel free to go and pop into one of his technical support sessions and he will see you right. Now, YouTube resources. On YouTube, I have been going through on YouTube and I've been putting all the various resources. The conductor tracks are in a specific playlist. Education sessions are in a specific playlist. The informational video, sectional videos are in a specific playlist. The original guide videos are also in a specific playlist. I'll just go through some of the stuff that's been put up on YouTube. We've got a lot of things going up on YouTube. You'll see their introductory sessions, soprano, alto, phase 2 pre-launches, and alto part 1 and 2 recaps. And then you've got phase 2 launches, you've got alto 1 sessions, you've got notes and performance, you've got song talk throughs, you've got all sorts of stuff. You've got a tenor and bass talk through. You've got a lot of stuff. Okay, you've got all the education sessions, and all this stuff goes up. It's all there, it's for you, and it's freely available for you to use. Okay, so please be, again, head across. It's Mr. Lub Music. All these as well are in the OneDrive folder in the information and tutorial videos section of the OneDrive folder that you already have for You Will Be Found. So you can download them, or you can go onto YouTube. They're always available for you. And as we get new videos sent through to us from the team, they get put through. The question of how long will the education files stay up, there is no limit at the moment to when they'll stay up until. On YouTube, probably indefinitely. Yeah, so it's not like I'm going to take them down and then monetize them at any, that's not going to happen. Okay, so they're going to be there. But again, you can download them from the OneDrive and you can have a copy for yourself and use it and watch it as you would like to. So I will now take questions on You Will Be Found. Do you have any questions about You Will Be Found that you have? So I'll just look in the question box and I will look to see some questions. By the way, when this goes up into YouTube, I'll be tagging it with when the various parts of the video are. So, for example, at 22 minutes will be the question and answer session. So I'll go through and I'll tag it with all the different timings for all the different parts, so that when people watch it back again, they can get to the information they want straight away. Cool. When are we doing video? Okay, Tamara's asked, when are we doing video sessions? That's part of phase 3, Tamara. Video sessions will be part of phase 3 for You Will Be Found. So that's part of the music team conversations over the next few days, is when we do video sessions and how those video sessions will run. We imagine that they will run this is for You Will Be Found, not One Voice. That's coming up in a minute. For You Will Be Found, we imagine the video sessions will run in the same way we did for You've Got a Friend in Me. Okay, the reason we haven't done video sessions in phase 2 like we did with You Got a Friend in Me is because the song's 6 minutes long and it's quite big, and we wanted to make sure people really know the song before they do the performance videos of themselves kind of singing along to the guide track or whatever. Yeah, so we thought it was important to only do that in phase 3 once people really, we hope, are going to be confident enough with the song, because it's difficult to give a good visual performance if you don't really know the notes and the words, as I think people are finding. Yes, and also the other question that was just there, is there a simple way to locate the app? Sue Martin. Ian Walker has just literally linked it in there. It's www.web-shed.co.uk/collective app. So, yes. Cool. Another question. Do you need the recordings to carry on beyond the end of the song track? Oh, yeah. When you do your recording, if you can wait until the entire song is finished with like the big kind of jazz hands bit at the end, although don't do jazz hands. I keep on telling the youth stream to not do jazz hands and they ignore me and do jazz hands anyway. But yeah, so if you wait until the entire track is finished and then press stop. It's not the end of the world, but it would be nice if you did that just for yeah. So yeah, certainly don't finish recording and then suddenly press it while the song actually is still going on. Just wait till the entire song finishes, then press stop. Okay, so we'll move on. Education sessions. So I just wanted to go through a couple of things on education sessions so you're aware. These are the educations we've had so far. Using guide tracks to learn a song. Again, it's on YouTube and on OneDrive. We've had straw phonation, sorry, SOVT, not OSVT. I typoed there, my apologies. SOVT, semi-occluded vocal tract straw technique, which some of our music team did a great session on, including a Q&A session. We've also had a education session on performance, so creativity, context, and communication, looking at various performances, what makes them work, and how the importance is the performer's creativity, the context in which those performances are delivered, and the communication with the audience and between the performers. There was also been a performance session that we did with the music team called Putting Your Toes Over the Cliff. So how you get emotionally involved in a song without jumping off the emotional cliff. So trying to get just that Goldilocks kind of performance. So it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. If we go too far over the cliff, we lose vocal quality. If we don't go far enough towards the cliff and don't at least peek over and see what's there, emotionally speaking, we'll sometimes get a technically proficient but emotionally dead performance. And obviously we want to try and move ourselves into putting your toes over the cliff without falling off. We then had a session called Arranging with Your Inner Voice, at which point, Arranging with Your Inner Voice was a fun session that I did. Well, it was fun for me. The arranging of a song from beginning to end, and how you use your what's in your head, and how you can sing and harmonize with yourself using software programs to be able to create a track. Music theory sessions a bit over the last week that we've been doing. We've gone through music notation and note duration. We've done time signatures, simple, compound, and odd meters, including identification of those time signatures. And then today we did sound waves, scales, signatures. So a really easy way of learning to do key signatures, discussing different types of scales, discussing how sound works, and how they came up with the idea of octaves, and kind of trying to get into a little bit of the science, but trying to make it an accessible session. Now, those education sessions are all available on Facebook. They're all available on the OneDrive, so you can go back. You don't have to attend live, although some people are doing so and I think enjoying it. A lot of the music theory sessions are about 2 hours each, but again, if you want to watch back at a later date, you can obviously then pause any of these education sessions as you like, and again go through there. So there we go. The best place to get those, by the way, for some copyright video restrictions on a couple of them, is the OneDrive folder links, and you can therefore download those videos with none of the copyright restrictions and stuff that a couple of those have. There was I'll go through there. Now, I just want to play you a little bit of a song, because I didn't want to just talk for the entire time. I think it should be okay with audio. The Arranging with Your Inner Voice, this is the song that we ended up arranging in about, I think it was about 3 and a bit hours worth of arranging time. So I won't play the whole thing, but again, this is available for you to listen to if you want to. This is the Police song, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic. I'll just play you a little bit of, obviously, you kind of can hear the result of one of those education sessions. It also gives me a chance to rest my voice and have a sip of my beverage. So enjoy a few seconds of this while I have a sip. 1, 2, 3, 4. if you, again, depends on if you could hear that with my internet connection. But again, if you want to have a listen to that, it's in that PowerPoint presentation, and it is also in the OneDrive folder. The question from Silka, Austin Darp. I will put the PowerPoint presentation for how to use guide tracks. I didn't know it wasn't in there, but I'll put that in again this evening before I go to bed. So I'll put it in there for you so you can use it. So moving on. If you would like education sessions on anything specific, do please let us know. And whilst we can't promise to deliver everything you might want to know about, on the Facebook group today, someone was asking me about the price of kippers, which I did give an answer to, but obviously the price of kippers is not necessarily my area of expertise. I know. You expect me to be a fishmonger as well as a choir director. So we have a massive, huge breadth of talent in the music, tech, and the admin team. Lots of very talented people. So if you want something specific or you're interested in something specific, please make sure that you let us know. If you don't ask for what you want, then you might not get it. So that's kind of really, again, we can't promise, but if you want something specific, do let us know. Okay, do let us know. So questions on education sessions, folks. Are there any questions on education sessions apart from the ones that have already been shared? What are kippers? Kippers are a salted and smoked fish that is hot smoked to cook it. I think it's like a no, it's not a mackerel. I think it's a pilchard. I think it's a pilchard that is slightly salted and then hot smoked to basically cook it. So it's a smoked oily fish. There you go. Very nice, actually, for breakfast. You often have jugged kippers, where you heat them in a bowl of hot water, and then you'd have them with, like, poached eggs or something for breakfast. Often you have, again, it's not quite, they often use smoked haddock for kind of kedgeree, but again, so yeah, it's a smoked fish. Very tasty. Jason Foxwell. Oh, he's mentioned the copyright thing. I don't do huge amounts with it. A lot of the stuff that I do don't get performed and they're non-monetized. So when you put something on YouTube, YouTube has a copyright agreement with the copyright holder. So for example, if I put White Cliffs of Dover, that was picked up instantly as I put White Cliffs of Dover on YouTube, which was the way I generally share all my kind of info. It was picked up instantly by YouTube song recognition software, and therefore the original copyright holder of that song can then monetize my video. I choose to do things that way. I'm never interested in monetizing my videos. So One Voice will be exactly the same. It's already picked up on the members launch video, and whoever owns the copyright, Barry Manilow's record label, I imagine, can, if there's any monetizable, for example, if that song went viral and we got like 3 million views, any monetization and adverts that went on that would go to the copyright holder of that original song. So if I was to put up that song, that Police song, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, and I was to put it onto YouTube, YouTube have an agreement with the copyright holders, and I'm never going to make any money out of it, but that's not why I do it anyway. Often the information, the songs I do, I don't then do a score anyway, so I don't have to I don't go through, for example, Sheet Music Plus or anything like that, because often I just do things by audio guide tracks. So yeah, that's what I do currently. But I suppose if I was going to try and sell arrangements, or if I was going to try and do things with those things or monetize it as a business, I would obviously then look into the copyright holders and performance rights and all those kind of things. But it's not an area of expertise for me. I've got people who normally I'll ask them to help me out and go from there. Next, You've Got a Friend in Me. You've Got a Friend in Me. We had 563 recordings, which is amazing. So thank you so much for that. 563 of those recordings have already been converted and trimmed. So that's on your 2, 2, 3, 4. They've already been chopped at the beginning and at the end, converted into the correct file format. And already 121 of them, when I did this PowerPoint presentation, already 121 of them have been fully edited. So we're almost a quarter of the way through You've Got a Friend in Me editing. in a really quick time. We slightly changed and modified the system that the tech team were using. Again, Tamara and Liz Smith are currently working on that. Liz Smith has slightly taken over the kind of overview of the tech team from Andrew Edgley, who's doing stuff to do like with work and stuff, so who couldn't give as much time to the kind of admin stuff and the overview of the project. But Tamara Hitchcock and Liz Smith are working on that, and they're doing a great job. And the tech team is working really hard with You've Got a Friend in Me. And again, that you've heard One Voice, and you've heard just what an awesome job the tech team did. I would probably say if you had it on time, the tech team probably took 98% of the time, and I did the 2% at the end. So I literally just put all the really well edited tracks together, and just did that last little 2%, if not less than that. It might have even been 1% of the total time was actually me doing the final mix. All the other stuff was done by our awesome tech team. For One Voice, it was obviously Tamara and Andrew Edgley, and now it's Liz Smith for You've Got a Friend in Me. So they're doing amazing work. And again, it never ceases to amaze me how much work people put into all this project. From very humble beginnings, it is a very impressive machine now that works really pretty well. So awesome stuff. Anyone got any questions on You've Got a Friend in Me? I'm trying to make sure I move through. I wanted to go through You Will Be Found in a decent time. But if you do have any questions on You've Got a Friend in Me, I will have another sip and I will then answer any questions. Julie White, this live session will be instantly available on Facebook, and then it will be available in about half an hour's time on YouTube. It will also be saved, and it will be in the OneDrive folder in the information tutorial videos as well. So you'll be able to access this through Facebook and through OneDrive and through YouTube after this has finished. Excellent. No other specific questions at the moment on that. So we get to One Voice, folks, which is kind of where the questions are at the moment, because obviously we have started looking into the video sessions for One Voice, and we've obviously recently shared the recording and the members launch video when we launched it so that you could listen to it to hopefully make you excited about doing the video sessions. They've already had about 1,900 views on the video that we shared with you. Okay. I think some people are watching it more than once, which is amazing, and we don't mind that at all. Please, can you just make sure so please can you just make sure that you are not sharing it really up outside of your immediate family. We want to have the impact when we've done all the video sessions. We want to have the impact with the official video, and that's the one that we really want you to be plugging and sending to people. What we don't want to have happen is they've already heard the version that I did with the PowerPoint with the lyrics and stuff, that was the version for the members to listen to. I would really want that isn't the one that ends up having the most views. So can we not share it too much, so that we get the surprise and the kind of people's surprise and enjoyment of the product when the video quality matches the singing quality, which obviously the members launch video, it doesn't. It was something I put together because I knew that you all wanted to hear the song. So yeah, just make sure we're not sharing it too much. 1,900 views is great, but I certainly don't want it going up to 8,000 or 10,000, because then that means that we are definitely sharing it around and about. And as soon as that link goes out there, we're going to lessen the impact of the actual official video once we've done it. In the PowerPoint presentation, by the way, there are a couple of little glitches in One Voice, and this came not from the audio. The original audio is in this PowerPoint presentation. This PowerPoint presentation is already in the OneDrive folder in the tutorials section. It's already there for you. And if you want to listen to the audio of One Voice, it's there for you to listen to. There are no glitches and edit issues. The edit issues and glitches on the video came from the render from PowerPoint into YouTube, so they're not there on the original audio track. I won't play it now, but it is there for you if you want to have a listen. So we get on to videos for One Voice, which I mentioned today, and I'll go through this, and again, then we can go and have any questions that you may have on this. Yes, 1 second. Karen says, could I take the link down for One Voice until the official video is done? I could do that, yes. At the moment, I might not. I might take the video down, but I don't know yet. That is a definite possibility, but I know that some people might like to kind of re-listen to it who are singers, and if I make that video private and they can't, that might they might not like that, but I certainly can. And again, that I certainly, if the view count keeps on going up and up and up, and makes me think that maybe it's been shared outside of the collective a little bit too much, then I probably would have to do that. So video sessions for One Voice. You will notice there are 21 video sessions. You may not have counted them, but there's 21 there. Ranging from Monday through to Friday. So from tomorrow all the way through to the end of Friday. Averaging about 4 a day, with 5 on the Friday. You will also notice that some of the timings are quite close to one another. So on Monday, which is tomorrow, there's a 1 o'clock session, a 1:30 session, and a 2 o'clock session. Okay. So that's and this, I'll just explain the idea, and then this is probably where I'm going to get the questions coming up. This is unfortunate, I'm afraid, folks, just for singers who were in the One Voice project. One Voice happened a fair old while ago now. So again, this is just the dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Unfortunately, we're not able to have people who weren't involved in this song first time round now suddenly learning the song and then like jumping in the video, having not been in the song. Okay, that's just the way of things. We can't change time. We can't, again, as Cher said, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way. But sadly, we can't. So initially, it is for just singers who did One Voice. If you were involved in One Voice, we want you in those videos. If you were not, then we love you to bits, but we don't need you in those videos, I'm afraid. We would only like you to attend one session. Okay, and how it was going to work, and I put this on Facebook earlier, is that we'd like people to, for example, to turn up at the earlier time. So if there's a session at 1 o'clock and 1:30 and 2, I'd like you to all try and turn up at 1 o'clock. Okay? What happens is I will let in the first 49 people. Now, please don't necessarily sit there from 12 o'clock. Don't sit there for an hour. Because, yeah, so you don't need to do that. There's enough sessions for us to get it in. And if we ever needed to do more sessions, then we'll just add more sessions at the end if we have a massive amount of people who've not been able to get in. Obviously, we need to have a cut-off at some point. Otherwise, we'll never actually get the official video done in the, that's the whole point of it. We'll never get the video done. So if you arrived at 1 o'clock or you arrived at like 5 to 1, I would let the first 49 people in. And I would leave the others in the waiting room. It may well not take half an hour to do this video. Okay, so basically the 49 people would come in. I would get the track on. Okay, we talk through it, and we probably would have 2 goes through. Okay, 2 goes through. So you'd sing through it twice, and you would sing through your voice part twice. This is not solo parts. This is not chorus parts. That's different, and we'll get to that in a second. So, and what I would like you to do is, if you sang more than one part in One Voice, you will just have to pick a part to lip sync. Okay, so even if you did all the parts in One Voice, there is not the ability for you to attend 6. Like if you did all the 5 harmony parts, there isn't the ability or the need for you to turn up and lip sync 5 different times. Okay, we just want people's faces there once each, and obviously if you end up turning up 5 times, it may be that somebody else can't fit in that because you might be in the 49 and they might then have to sit there and wait, and it may be so that, again, because you're lip syncing, your voice is already there multiple times. If you've done that, it doesn't necessarily need, so just pick your favorite part that you sang of the ones you submitted and lip sync to that. So you turn up at the beginning of the session at 1 o'clock, and you would then, I'll let the first lot in, and actually probably you're talking 10-15 minutes to get the first one done. And again, we probably do it twice just so that people have a little bit of a go through, get used to it, and then probably the second one will mostly be the one we go with. I'll record that. Then what I'll do is, and this is why we need lots of people to turn up at the beginning, I'll then see how many people are in the waiting room. If there is less than 49 people in the waiting room, what I will do is I will ask, or possibly I will remove, obviously I'll tell them I'm going to, I will ask some people to leave the room so I can allow other people in, but still to try and have 49. So officially, you may end up being in this more than once. But only because I want to have 49, because when you have 49 on one screen, it means that everybody's video boxes will be the same size and the video will look a lot better. Okay, so if, for example, I have another 49 waiting in the waiting room, then all the first 49, they'll all go, and I'll bring another whole 49 people in. Awesome. If there's like 47 people in the waiting room, I'll say, okay, can I have, if you can, you and you, can you stay? So then we've got 49, and then we'll have those new 47 and the 2 people who are there in the nicest possible way to make up the numbers. That's to basically make it a 7 by 7, like, you know, video screen. Okay? That's the reason for that. And again, don't worry, because even if you end up not singing, nobody's going to know if you're singing the correct part. Okay? So even if you end up kind of, as long as you're not singing the melody when you shouldn't be singing the melody, then don't worry. It's not like I'm going to pick you up and look at your video part and said, you are mouthing the baritone part wrong. I'm not going to do that. Okay? Don't worry. The idea is, and as we said previously, for me, the video is a record of the process we all went through. We obviously want it to look good, but for me, I want to see the people's faces who were involved in it. There's not a huge production budget. We haven't got a video production company kind of editing it. It's not going to have loads of computer graphically kind of generated imagery and all this kind of stuff. I want it to be a record of what was a very special time in learning a song, and a very special time in kind of the kind of the life of the collective, if you like, in the same way that we said exactly the same thing for You've Got a Friend in Me, that the process was the important thing. The video is merely a record of that process. The process is the important thing, not actually the video itself. The video is there to show people the type of musical endeavor we've created together, not necessarily to try and have a big budget look or to have kind of glossy graphics and things. That's brilliant, and I love the videos that look like that. That's not what the collective is. And I'm not going to try and pretend that is what it is. It's not. So the video itself is so we can be proud and we can share it and we can look back in years to come and we can have that as a record of that time in our lives, as opposed to that we're going to get picked up as and they're going to sign us up for a recording contract or anything like that. That's not why we're doing it. Okay. So it is a record. So yeah, that information there for you. Everyone's going to be included. Okay, so don't worry. If you make one video session, we're including all the video sessions. It may well be at some point that you're very little, because if we have 500 and 600 and 700 people or whatever coming up to these video sessions, at some point, these boxes are going to be pretty small, but you will be there. Okay, your name will be there in the credits and you will be there. Okay, so we'll try and make sure that you all kind of get seen. If less than 49 turn up at a session, we'll go with the number we get. Okay, but what I'm saying is if we get more than 49, obviously I will only have 49 at once, because as soon as you get past 49, I can't fit them all onto one video screen, so I'd press record and some of them wouldn't be on the video at all if they're past the 49 people. Okay, so if we don't get 49, it's not a problem, but I would like 49 because it would make it look nicer and it be less video editing. So if you imagine if we have 49 and therefore I wanted say it was 490 people turned up and 49 in all of those sessions, we'd need 10 sessions to get the 490 people. If we only had 10 people turn up to all of those, we'd have to have 49 video sessions to do the same thing, and that means also 5 times the amount of video editing to edit so many more video tracks to try and get everyone in. So we want to get as close to 49 in all the sessions as possible to minimize the video editing that we've got to do. And again, we don't have a production company on our side. Timings. So the timings that are all there, so just be aware that if you can turn up at the beginning of the session, don't worry if you can't, but if you can, that means that I can let those people in, and some of you might sit in a waiting room for 15 or 20 minutes, but that's hopefully you're okay with that. Again, and just do your best. Soloists, we would like you to record yourselves with the backing track audible. So the complete opposite of what you do for your actual recordings. We want the backing track to be audible so that therefore I can sync it up. You do not need to sing the entire song, okay? You just need to sing the bit that you're doing for your solo. So if you're doing a solo early on, then all I literally need is that 25-30 seconds. of at that bit. If then you are singing the bit at the end, so and everyone will sing, you can do that as a separate video file. Okay, that's absolutely fine, because it's not going to be difficult at that point to therefore move that little video file and sync it up on that file. That's not a problem. So if you're a soloist, record the bits you've done, which usually are about 5 seconds long at most, possibly 10 seconds long. Basically, play the guide track out loud, maybe 5 seconds before your part starts singing. Lip sync or sing along to your part, but lip sync and whatever, and then send that video recording in. If you can have it in landscape on your phone, that's brill. But if it's portrait, it's not an issue, because we'll be cropping it anyway to fit you in as best as we can. So we might not use your background anyway, so don't worry too much about what's in your background. Again, remember, it's a record. You don't need to go into a professional film studio to get them to record your solo bit so that you've got like a proper fancy plush background, especially not if I'm going to crop you out and just have your head and shoulders in the picture anyway. Yeah, so just don't worry too much about that. Choruses. I would like choruses to organize themselves. Okay, so we have had choruses who did the melody part. So if the choruses did a melody part, so for example, Melanie and C Sound Singers, okay, the C Sound Singers were one of the featured choruses that did the melody line, and hopefully all I want is for those people in that chorus to communicate with themselves and to film themselves singing along to the track, and it can be audible again on Zoom, and send me the recording. Okay, so I think because choruses, it would be quite nice for choruses to be in charge of their own video, because then the choruses can organise when they're free. They might be able to do it at the end of their own rehearsal night. Yeah, so again, Alison there is saying that the Aberdeen Sweet Adeline chorus is doing a Zoom on Wednesday to record their video. They're already on board with that, and that's brilliant. So choruses can sort themselves out, and they can work around the times for themselves, and obviously then that also takes a little bit of the load off of us as a music and tech team, that we don't necessarily have to be doing all the individual choruses and worrying about trying to find times when we're free and they're free. So that's soloists and choruses. Soloists, selfie video yourself running through the song, brilliant. Choruses, organise yourself on Zoom, send me a link to that video file. Don't worry about editing it, just send me the whole song and we'll work on it as best as we can. Excellent, Red Rosettes are doing that as well. Background and attire. If you want to wear your collective merchandise, 100% great. If you want to dress in your chorus gear, 100% fine. If, for example, say Aberdeen Sweet Adelines, they want to dress up in their chorus gear and they want to basically brand themselves as their chorus, 100% fine. If they want to turn up in jeans and t-shirts, 100% fine. You can wear what on earth you like to the video session. There is no dress code. If you want to wear your collective merchandise, if you've bought t-shirts or hoodies, then absolutely fine. Please feel free to do that. But there is no dress code. Okay, there is no specific dress code. You don't necessarily have to worry about having makeup on, unless you want to, gentlemen. At which point, I don't mind. It can be anything you want, as long as you want your face in that recording, so we can see you visually in there, just as we have you in the audio, so we know that you're auditory, you're in there in the audio, and you're in there in the video. We might change times slightly. Initially, when I put these sessions out, they were all with me. Some of the music team very nicely are taking some of those sessions off me, and therefore some of the times may move by an hour or so. So please keep on checking. We'll try and keep them as similar as they are at the moment, but they might move slightly. We may even add some additional times. There is not. One second, my computer isn't happy at the moment. There is not the ability to have all the timings you might want. Okay, there just isn't. As you'll see, this is all in UK time, and we've got some 10:30 sessions in here. We've got 10:30, 9:30, 10, 9:30, 10, 9:30, 10, and 10:30. So we've got, for UK, relatively late in the evening. We've also got some mornings, because we know that some people with kids and stuff and family, they might have a little bit of time in the morning. And we've got some afternoon sessions, but for UK time, very few afternoon sessions, because we're aware that in the afternoon, a lot of people are not available. We are aware that this is not going to necessarily suit everybody's time schedule. We already have had conversations with some people in the US and in Canada, and they are already setting their alarms for earlier in the morning so they can attend one of these sessions, and we appreciate that. But we'd also ask you just to remember that we are generally a UK-based music team, and actually the people who aren't UK-based are actually further east. So we've got obviously Netherlands, we've got Germany, we've got Turkey. So we're either 1 or 2 hours later on, which would actually make it more difficult for them. So, for example, our lovely section leader Ilhan is in Turkey, so he's 2 hours after. So, for example, when even on a 10 o'clock session, when I do music team meetings that start at 9 o'clock, for Ilhan in Turkey, that's already 11 p.m. for him. Some of those meetings go on for 2 hours. So I'm sometimes forcing him to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning just to attend planning meetings. So again, we can only do the best we can. If that doesn't 100% suit with your schedule, we will do our best, but we can't promise that we can do UK time 3 a.m., 4 a.m. sessions to be able to do that. We'll just do our best, and that's all we can do. Okay? So, on the app, now again, the app is the place to go. It's the cool place that all the cool kids hang out. So please be aware that the app is the place to go. You want to see that therefore where it says One Voice, there's the Get My Rehearsals for One Voice and the information I shared today. Okay, the information I shared today is there. The phase 2 information for Dear Evan Hansen is also there. All the links to the rehearsal videos, all the links to the uploading your recording is there. All the stuff you need is on the app. Yes, there's the links are available elsewhere, but if you want to go to the app, if you're using the system, it makes it so much easier. The app, I think, has a 97 or 98% uptime, as in it works 97 to 98% of the time. So therefore, if you are getting it and it has an error, Ian probably knows about it, but at the same point, you are just unfortunate. Just pop back a little bit later and it should be up and running again. So all the information you need is in the app. So please access the app and use that as much as you can and go from there. Okay? Again, just to remind you, it will also allow you to do things like changing your date format, changing your time zone, changing whether you like 24-hour or 12-hour, and you can choose all your different sessions. If I show you there, I just clicked on I think I clicked on bass, but it doesn't really matter because you'll notice here. You'll notice at the moment the sessions only go up to Wednesday. Okay, that doesn't mean that there's only sessions up to Wednesday. As you saw, there are one video sessions up to Friday. At the moment, the app is only showing to Wednesday. That will obviously change. I'm sure Ian will then move the date of that. The reason for that is that when we're sorting out phase 3, sometimes we end up adding things into our planning spreadsheet, and that means that the app ends up looking a little bit chaotic. Because there's sessions which haven't got times, haven't got dates, haven't got information, and that can make it quite confusing for you as singers. So basically, Ian's system reads directly off of our planning Google Sheet, which means that as we're planning and as we're moving things around and creating things, it means that the app ends up looking like there's sessions that are happening when they're not actually going to be happening, or there's sessions with no dates or no times or no information. So Ian only really turns on, it says here Thursday and Friday are now on. So while we've been doing this, Ian's already updated this, so the app is now showing up until Friday, so it shows all of these One Voice video sessions. Okay, closer to the time, he will update it so it will show phase 3. Phase 3 times aren't agreed yet and they're not sorted, so we're not showing them, because at the moment it would look like nothing's happening in phase 3. That's only because the music team haven't actually planned all of those at the moment. So Ian is constantly on this. He's just tinkering. He's always doing the work on it. He spends an awful long time. So again, please make sure you're accessing it and using it. It's really, really useful. And I managed to get on it really easily earlier on. It got me the information I wanted quickly in my time zone. By the way, the picture here is Eastern Standard Time. And again, with the date format that Americans seem to like, with month, day, year, and then Eastern Standard Time. So you can see all those sessions. Please make sure you are using it. Question from Denise Campbell. Where are the soloists and chorus getting the sound from for one voice? Are they using the sound from the YouTube video? You can use anything that has your part on or the all parts video. So you can use a conductor track. You can use so you can use a conductor track. You do not have to use the official audio. The official audio, the recording that I played you all, is exactly synchronized to the track that you did your recordings to. So you can choose any audio you like. You can do your soloist one to your the solo actual part and just play that. But it should be audible in the background, just so we can help with the synchronization. Okay, so I'm gonna talk through this, just kind of to go through, because I'll go through this and just explain a little bit. Now, please remember, please remember, the collective is not funded by any singing organisation. We're not affiliated with anyone. None of the people involved with the collective receive anything for their time, except obviously appreciation and love and emotional. But from the point of view, all the work, the time, the resources, the arrangements, audio and video tracks, education sessions, video sessions, nobody makes anything out of this. It's if it was a business model, it would be the world's most flawed business model, because nobody makes anything out of it. Ian doesn't make anything. I don't make anything. None of the music team make anything. There is £0 and 0 pence in the collective, and we designed it that way because it's not about that. We're not, So that does mean that there isn't a budget for us to do things. Please remember, our team, and I know a lot of you do, and I know that all of you do. You're all very nice people, but they all have jobs, they have families, they have friends, they have their own choirs, choruses, quartets, lots of other things that they could possibly should be doing instead of working on collective stuff. Okay, and a lot of them feel like sometimes they almost feel bad because they're actually prioritizing collective over things that existed before collective, whether that be family or friends or their own choruses and quartets, and they're actually spending more time on collective than possibly they should be because they've got other things and other responsibilities, both musically and personally, and in their careers that they're doing. So it's important that we just remember that they're not employed, they're not employees. And again, and certainly there is no money in this. Not that matters, doesn't matter to us, but just to remind, because people who are new to it may well think that there must be then we must be being paid because we're trying to do a good job and we're kind of providing a service. And that doesn't mean you can't criticize. That doesn't mean you can't be frustrated by something. But again, just always remember that it is being provided for kind of love and support in a difficult time, and at the same point, they're all human beings. We are all human beings, and we all have our own struggles, and we are not perfect, and we can't always answer every question the way you would like, or do what you would like us to do every single time. We just don't have the ability to do that. We are not Gareth Malone. We're not Eric Whittaker. We don't have a record label, TV production company, professional marketing team. We don't have anything like that, and we don't want it. Okay, we don't have sponsorship. We're not sponsored by anyone. Nobody owns anything about the collective. We are completely independent of everything. We've got loads of people from different singing organisations involved, but we are not affiliated. We have not tried to be affiliated. We haven't got sponsorship. We haven't requested any money, and nor shall we. Not because we're big for our boots, but actually we're happy with what we're doing, and we're happy that we can be honest and say we are doing what is right for our singers, and that therefore we've not got any axes to grind, we've not got any products to sell, and we're not going to try and sell you some timeshares when by the time we're done with this. There's no pyramid scheme at the end of this. The team, however, have done things like they've bought brand new computers so they can run sessions better. They have spent hours and hours and hours discussing and planning, running sessions. I think we're over 700 sessions now. Over 700. I think we're into like the 700 or 800 lots of individualized feedback being given, over 100 individual one-to-one singing and kind of vocal coaching sessions, and they're just doing all that for love. They're doing that because initially I asked them to, and now they're doing it because you need them. I don't mean that in a negative way. They see the need and they see the impact of those things. And they see the impact it has on you, the positive impact, and they don't moan. they really don't moan. Sometimes they are tired. Sometimes they're kind of a little bit not upset in a negative way, but sometimes they're emotionally quite tired. And again, sometimes we go on Facebook and it is quite tricky because people are expecting a lot, and we love that because that's mean we're doing a good job. But sometimes, just be aware, we're all just people giving of our time for free, and we have lots of things that try and pull us away from collective, even if we struggle not to spend less time on collective. Please remember, therefore, if you can't find something, if you don't know where the latest tracks are, if you can't find a Zoom session, if you can't make the Facebook page work, if you can't fit something to your schedule, we are just doing our best. Okay, we are doing our best, and as we say in rehearsals all the time, all we can expect of you as singers is to do your best, and the reciprocal part of that is all we can expect is that you know that we are doing our best for you at all times. Sometimes our best may well not seem good enough, but if it's all we can give, it's all we can give. If our section, for example, if some of our section leaders sections can't do as many Zoom sessions as other section leaders, then I've said that I'm fine with that, because they can only give what they can give. If there's therefore twice as many sessions for one voice part as a different voice part, yeah, it would be lovely if there was the same number. But they're just human beings, and they only have the time they have. They only have the ability they have to fit these things in. And that just means that those sessions that they can do will be really good fun because there'll be more people in them. And we just ask for your understanding with that. It's not making excuses. We love spending time with you, and we love everything about the project. But I just need to, as kind of the boss of all this, I suppose the music team call me the boss. But as the boss of all of this, I do often think about them, their well-being. Obviously, some of our music team, they're human beings. They get ill. They have bumps. They have problems. They have all sorts of things going on in their own life, as we all do. But they're still there for you. They're still there picking you up in your sessions. They're still there doing all their good stuff. And again, the support we get from you is amazing. It really is. And again, please don't feel if you get maybe a short response, or you don't get the answer you maybe want, that means we don't care, or that kind of it's changed, or we're less supportive than we were previously. It's not the case. It's just that after the end of a long day, sometimes again, we are only human, as far as I'm aware. So are there any questions about One Voice, lovelies? Are there any questions about One Voice? This has been long, but I will time it, and I'll put all the timings on so people know when they can skip to. But again, are there any questions about One Voice? If I've not covered anything, please let me know. I will answer questions, and I'll stay here for a bit and answer questions. And just let me know if there's anything that if you've any questions about One Voice, about the video sessions, about anything at all. Just feel free to ask, and I will just have a sip. I've talked a lot today. 2.5 hour music theory session today, and I've talked a lot, and my voice is a little bit on the I'm back into ouchy throat like I am when I'm teaching. Deborah Linzer asked the question: if we don't want merchandise, can we still send money directly to support you? No. If we want to be supporting a cause, the cause that the collective has chosen to support is the Leicester Music Education Hub. Which is the school, is basically the education for the schools of the musical stuff that goes on around Leicestershire. One of our section leaders, Nikki Atkins, is the singing development leader for Leicester Music Hub. And the merchandise that is being sold, some of the profits from that is going to the Leicester Music Education Hub. And I will make sure we find a link for that, and I'll pop it up on the page. Again, and I'm going to be honest here, a lot of our music team are employed as vocal leaders, as vocal coaches, as professional. They're professional singers, they're professional coaches. When we get back to this, and we haven't done it at the moment, but they are available. you know, if when your choruses come back, you want to look into the availability of some of our awesome music team. We have judges, we have professional singers, we have professional coaches, we have people with decades of experience in musical theatre and in barbershop and all sorts of areas. And it may well be that when we get back into our chorus, these might be some people, knowing them and knowing who they are and what they're like. You may well be able to kind of request their services in a business capacity, so they can do something for your quartet or they can do something for your chorus, and obviously that is something that they do, but it is also something that we have not plugged, we have not thrown out there to you all from the point of view we did not want you to feel pressured with that. But again, if you request for some of this stuff, we do have a lot of people on our music team who are either fully employed or partly employed, part-time, in like the music business, as far as coaching and singing teachers and all sorts of stuff. So again, that does exist. So if you want to give any money, we would say that we'd like you to contribute to the Leicestershire Music Education Hub, and I'll get a link for that if you'd like to do that. And that supports young people in music in the county I live in at the moment, and they've been really supportive to my work with a youth chorus in Leicester called Lux A Cappella with Nikki Atkins. I run that, and again, so that will have a direct impact on my musical groups, but we don't want you to therefore give like us money, because we're running on a zero budget, and we're purposely running on a zero budget, so we wouldn't necessarily know what to do with money if you sent it to us anyway, apart from possibly buy some beer. But please do not send beer, because if I get sent beer, the whole music team are going to want beer, and then they're going to be coming around my house and trying wresting the beer out of my hands, and they'd have to fight me for it. Just looking for any other questions. Will you play audio backing while doing video, or do you play your own? Yeah, we'll play audio backing, and you'll all basically lip sync. You'll basically sing along, and then we'll sync it up after the fact. Any other questions, lovelies? I am looking at the questions, and I'm just making sure I kind of get these questions up. For chorus recording, do we video the whole song or only sing our part? Yeah, Alison, you do the whole song with choruses. When you're doing your own you can do the whole part. You can do the whole song. You probably would actually quite like to do the whole song. So do the whole song. But when I say do the whole song, you may want to sit there and wait, do your part, and then wait, and then do your next part. So you'll do the whole song, but you'll only sing in the bits that you sang in your recordings, if that makes sense, Alison. Hopefully that does make sense. Camera portrait or landscape? I'm assuming you mean for solo. Solo? Do you mean solo? Solo, possibly landscape, but when you're doing the Zoom video sessions, that will be landscape by its definition, and we'll be recording. The music team members who are running those sessions will be doing that. So the music team will be doing that. Oh, I do like Guinness. Now, any questions, lovelies? Any questions? Simon, can you do an education session on editing tracks and how a song is put together, audio and video? That's a big one. Editing tracks, yeah, actually, it might, interestingly enough, our tech team, Liz Smith, has done some stuff on using Melodyne. I can also use Cubase, so I wouldn't have an issue in doing something like that. It might also be something that some of our tech team might be able to put together. They're the ones doing a lot of the editing, even if it's just a little bit of kind of like showing how they're doing some of the editing for You Got a Friend in Me and stuff. So no, I think that's quite a good idea. I will check that with Liz and Tamara and the tech team, and go from there. Barb, no regular voice parts. Voice parts, you don't need to really worry. If you can make it landscape, that's great. If you're a phone user, do it landscape on Zoom, but the Zoom recording itself will be landscape. So you won't be in control of your own video. You're not sending in individual videos. You are sticking yourself in a Zoom session, and we will record the Zoom session. Okay? All gone. Good. Any other questions? I think we're about there, folks. But I don't want to leave without at least seeing what your questions are. Well, I'm going to call it at the moment for there, folks. Just to let you know, in the end of the PowerPoint presentation, okay, a lot of our singers were involved in the Eric Whittaker Virtual Choir 6, which is called Sing Gently. It got released today, and it is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so if you can, again, I can't share it very well on this, but lots of our singers, and actually really nice. I was looking at the Eric Whittaker Virtual Choir 6 page. A lot of people have come from Eric Whittaker Virtual Choir 6 official page and have then made their way to us once they'd done the Eric Whittaker. Okay, so those of you who are involved in Eric Whittaker 6, absolutely amazing. I listened to it a couple of times today, and it is gorgeous. So again, congratulations for making an absolutely amazing recording and getting an amazing kind of production. Again, I would encourage you all to go and have a listen to that song. It was lovely. It was really lovely song. Again, go and have a look. Eric Whittaker Choir 6, Sing Gently. It is beautiful. It's in it's linked in the PowerPoint presentation, which is there for you. So congratulations to all of those of you who was in Virtual Choir 6. It was awesome. Loved listening to it. We have quite a lot of our singers who've come recently were involved in Virtual Choir 6, and as we got a few, they went back to Virtual Choir 6's page and were really promoting how much they were enjoying the collective. Again, it's different. The collective is very different to Virtual Choir 6 in the way it kind of works and the amount of people involved. I think Virtual Choir 6, I think they ended up with over 17,000 people in the final recording. 17,000, which is a little bit on the crazy side. So yeah, but do have a listen to it. It is always good to have a listen to that. And again, I'm not sure whether you'll see the faces of anyone you know with 17,000 different video faces there, but you never know. You may well see some faces that you recognize. And anyway, Eric Whittaker is a really gifted composer, and it's a lovely song that he composed, original song that he composed for them to sing. So well done to all you people. And we'll go from there. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, folks. I'm going to head off and get a little bit of a rest. It's been a long old day, lots of talking. We will see you soon. We'll see you in some of the video sessions tomorrow, no doubt. Again, if you have any questions, please let us know. Please take care of yourselves. I know that some of you are in countries that are kind of entering out of the other side of lockdown. And again, we're really glad about that. I'm also equally as aware that some of you are in countries and areas that are really struggling at the moment with lockdown and really struggling with high numbers of illness and again, real problems in where you are. So again, thinking of you all, either thinking of you all as you kind of begin to come out the other side of this, or thinking of you as you're possibly in the middle of it, and you're maybe where we were a few weeks ago in the UK, kind of feeling like there's going to be no end to it. And all I can say is there is going to be an end to it. We are going to get out of this. And when we do, and we finally meet each other, I'll get emotional otherwise. When we come out of this, we're going to meet each other. We're going to hug. We're going to sing. And we're going to appreciate everything that we've done for each other in this fucking shitty time, in a lot of ways. Apologies for my language, but it's been tough, folks, and you have kept everyone going. We absolutely love you to bits. Thank you so much, as ever, and we will really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And yeah, I almost made it through a video session without crying, but not quite. So have a wonderful evening, folks. Thank you so much. Much love to all of you. A big shout out for music team, tech team, admin team, every team. And also all of you, the singers, you are absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. Have a good evening, and we'll see you soon. Take care.